Kevin Mantle, and today we have Alchemist Focal Banger. I've never had this beer before. I give props to my good friend Dave Parkinson. He brought one back for me from Vermont. He was up there about 3 weeks ago, and the way that this stuff goes out the door, I'm assuming it's less than a month old at this point, because it still should be reasonably fresh. On top of which, their beers actually hold up really well. Heady Topper is probably my favorite beer I've ever had in the world. I've had it, I don't know, 3-4 times in my life. Basically, Stowe, Vermont's probably about a 4-hour drive from here, and I just don't put the effort in to go get it. There's so much good local beer. But this is one of their big brands, one of their big names. Haven't had it. I'm looking forward to it. It's an American Pale Ale. We have a real love for IPAs at the Alchemist. It's brewed with Citra and Mosaic hops. It is 7% ABV, and the brewer John Chemic always says to go ahead and drink it out of the can. So I am going to do that. I did bring just a small glass just so we can take a look at it, but we're not going to really drink it out of a glass. So we got nice pale, that's actually quite pale yellow, nice white bright head on it, and a little bit of carbonation coming up through it. So very classic looking pale ale. But we're going to do the aroma off the can. So I get a little bit of the malt backbone. I mean, a little bit of like toasted cracker. A little bit of grapefruit. I'm going to actually go back to the glass and see if the aroma is a little different. No, quite similar actually. A little bit of grapefruit pith and a little bit of the malt backbone. Maybe just a hint of pine in there. I'm not really getting much else than that. So let's go ahead and give it a taste. Oh, pretty decent. I should say that. It's a really, really good beer. Totally different than Heady. It's not even, it's surprising to come from the same guy. Very more like a West Coast style. Not that a Heady is real, what they call New England style anymore, but it's kind of was one of the real driving forces, what we call East Coast style at this point. So, first taste is that nice malt background that I got from the aroma. The very first taste is a little bit of bread, saltine. Grapefruit, a hint of orange in there, a little sweet orange in there. It finishes really bitter though, and that's the difference between a Heady Topper. I never found Heady as bitter as you'd expect for a double IPA. Heady was one of the IPAs my wife ever tried and said, "Oh, geez, I kind of like that," and she would even steal some of mine. So. Yeah, so it's crisp, it's clean, finishes a little dry. They said it's quite bitter. We got grapefruit, we got a little bit of pine, a little bit of sweet orange. Yeah, definitely some sweet orange in there, like orange juice. Hint of pine, hint of grass. So it's a totally different, like I said, it's a totally different experience, and it's a type of beer that you don't get a lot of anymore. This kind of style is a little bit what we were getting 5-6 years ago. It's definitely the antithesis of the whole New England style with the basically drinking orange juice. Not that that's bad. I'm not knocking you, but so it's kind of the antithesis of that. It's really more the old school West Coast or West Coast-ish IPA, but it's got a really nice, like I said, it's got that nice malt back up front, and you get a little bit more of the grapefruit orange than you get on the classic ones of that. I don't think this is not going to knock Heady Topper off the perch of the greatest beer I've ever had. I would say that this is actually, I would give this a B. High B, but I'd give this a B. I'd say like maybe an 87 out of 100. So, till next time, keep drinking.